trouble with getting the word out, if you will, and we can promote it from here. We have not started a program here yet that we did not get full participation.
The community.
From the community. Now, space, let's talk about space just for a moment. I'm not sure when you say incubator, if it's how many days of the week, if it's going to be 1 month, a 30-day program in cohorts. Those are the kind of things that we need to know because we have so limited space here.
Right.
We have tenants, and we are at full capacity except for one small space. This basically is our classroom. I do have another space within an AC in the classroom, by the way, but we do have another space at the end of the building that is right now used as a pre-construction classroom. If that program doesn't continue, that's going to be another space where equipment can be built out. There's so many different things that, you know, the opportunity for advancement.
You hear, sis? Excuse me. Okay.
Good. When you talk about a proposal, something like 5-6 pages, 8
It doesn't have to be that long. I just,
Okay,
want-
well,
I see the concept, I understand the concept,
Something.
but to present it to other people, to the
Totally.
city,
Yes, I
city
could
council and
appreciate
things
that.
like that, we have to have something that we can present to be able to support. We support it, and hopefully we can collaborate with this. But when we have a foundation built to grow from, that's when we get community buy-in.
Okay.
Right.
We've got to focus on participants of the ones that we really want to come. The first class, how many people are we gonna have? 10, 20?
Right.
And when those 10, 20 hear about it and go and tell their friends, especially this age
You're
group.
gonna sign, right, you're gonna have others.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm not talking about a big business plan proposal, no, it can be just a couple of pages, but we
Okay,
need to
that
know
describe
who
it.
you are,
Right.
what you do, how you do it, and when you're doing it.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, yeah, okay, we can put something like that, I'll work on that with,
Carol.
Justice.
That's why
Hi, Carol. So yeah, just something simple, you know, we're not trying to make it difficult, because
Right.
Peter and I have talked about this art incubator now since he met you guys.
Yes,
And it's phenomenal what it would bring. Right now, on site, we have this group called the Fort Myers Falcons cheerleaders dance team.
okay, yes,
Right.
They're nationally known now because they took the national championship, all 3 divisions in New York in October.
that's great.
Nice.
They added
That
a
is insane.
mentally challenged group.
Wow.
These are kids that are mentally challenged.
great.
Nice.
When these girls got on stage, right from Fort Myers,
Yes.
do you know that they got no funding from locals? All of their funding now is coming from people that have seen them perform. And Annie, I forget Annie's last name, she could share that information. The trophies are right back there in the bay that they occupy.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
That those girls that's already in that part of it, they may not wanna be dancers forever, they may wanna learn the business side. So those are the kind of things that we can
For
focus on
example.
to bring in.
Yes, yes, okay, now we could put something together, I could work with, Justice over here and we could put something together.
And Peter, basically, with this art incubator, I'm sure he told you about McCullum Hall. McCullum Hall is a historic place that was developed back during the Chitlin circuit, when black entertainers would go from Tampa to Miami, but they could only stay in certain hotels. So, and they could only perform in certain areas. McCullum Hall was built for them to perform in right here in Fort Myers.
Wow.
It is now National Historic Building. So we're renovating it now for a Art Deco entertainment restaurant food hall.
Wow.
That's the concept.
And where is it?
It's right at the corner of Cranford and MLK.
Okay.
And don't pay any attention to the police sign out there because it was kind of misleading. We have a developer that's already in place that is actually going to develop that building into the food hall and build affordable housing around it
Wow.
so that it'll be a footprint for the community.
Yeah.
Right at Henderson and MLK,
Yes.
is where the new Black Cultural Center is going to be built. The conceptual plan is out, and Charles Barnes, who's the executive, no, he's not the executive director, Autumn, he's the chair of the board of directors.
Okay.
And Charles Barnes was born and raised right here in Fort Myers. The reason I'm bringing these places up, because of the opportunity.
Yes.
If we get something like this started now, when those buildings are ready, that's entertainment.
Showcase.
That's business showcases, exactly. And it's going to also bring in more revenue
Yes.
to them, because they'll be able to showcase presentations. One thing about the Cultural Center, they plan to have a place where they hold conventions, networks, and things like that, just like they do at Ponce Market in Atlanta.
Wow, that's very exciting.
So we have a lot of opportunities, and we, with proposals, when you get all of that together, we can present to them and see if they even want to buy into and, you know, have some of the round tables.
Yes.
So, Phyllis, you'll leave.
I am, next Wednesday at noon.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
And you're
this didn't come
assuming the position?
We are going to move this operation under my office, which is economic development, which I'm the director of.
Okay,
And then we'll hire an operations manager that'll be the day-to-day boots on the ground here. And one of the day-to-day will be here, and others. I won't be here day-to-day, I'll come.
so you're downtown?
I'm downtown.
Further downtown.
So I report to the city manager.
Right, okay. Yeah, okay. What do you think of this idea?
I don't know anything about it.
Yes.
I don't know anything. And so I have a weird call coming up though.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
One of my council members.
Oh, God, I know which one.
Liston Bochette.
This is why we need the manager of operations on foot on the ground.
Oh, totally.
He's pulled in so many different
So
directions.
he's a former Olympian, and he wants to set up a Zoom call, and this is to talk about, let me get it here, to talk about film and culture development. Now, this is film. I
He's
guess
big
on this
into
call
film. He
is the
yeah.
former president of the Republic of the Dominica,
Oh, my God.
the
Now
president
the-
of the Federation of International Cinema and Television, the president of the United States Sports Academy, some advisor to President Fernandez, whoever that is. So it sounds like what he wants to do is some kind of an international cultural
Mhm,
thing.
mhm.
So does
Yes.
this fall under culture?
Of course.
Oh,
it
yeah,
does.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
It is
I'm-
culture.
I'm asking.
Oh,
It's-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
The
So-
people that you just named off, when I was in the
I can't
city,
even pronounce their names.
when I was in the city attorney's office, I had to make the phone calls internationally to get him meetings when we went over for that, so I have the contact information, and yes, that falls under cultural. That's more of a level of diverse cultural. If we could start what we're talking about here locally, that is an added entity,
Well, I
if
think
you
the
will.
thing here, this call is gonna be, I have to look at the calendar, it's gonna be a call, 2-hour call.
It's gonna be more than that.
Sometime in January, but again, having this proposal
Mhm.
gives me something I can take to that and say, oh, by the way, you're talking about film and culture, this is more music and culture, so see everybody, we're already doing this in this area.
Yeah,
So
well,
I think of it like a
Hip
pie,
hop is as much
and
culture.
this is
as-
Yeah, I'm
a,
telling
this
you,
is a
this
slice
is
of a
a-
pie,
Yeah.
there's just a lot of slices to this cultural pie.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, like, as you were saying, when we mention hip hop is a culture.
Mhm.
But what of hip hop that's being, what you say, utilized is the music of hip hop.
Mhm.
Do you follow what I'm saying? I mean, you turn on any television, they're selling hip hop. If you eat cornflakes, hip hop, you know, everybody's cool eating the cornflakes now. You follow me? So hip hop has become, the culture of hip hop on one side
Mhm.
has become American apple pie.
Universal.
But on the other side, with the artists, it's become something that's oversaturation of young people, crime, gangs, over oversaturation of jewelry, profanity, you know what I mean? And those elements are in all musics.
Mhm.
You follow me? But the one thing about other musics, all of these musics roll into one, American music. Hip hop, at 50 years of its growth, is American music now. You can't deny it being American music,
Totally.
because it incorporates all of the other genres of music. You have hip hop country, you have hip hop rock and roll, you have hip hop, R&B, you have
Totally.
whatever,
Spiritual
folk
music.
music.
Yeah.
So
Spiritual.
Yeah.
So here's what's happening here, the same council member.
This is a county.
No, it's a city council member.
Okay, city council.
He wants to really blow up and make we have believe it or not, I didn't know this, we have a Fort Myers, Sanibel, you know where Sanibel is, there's a Fort Myers, Sanibel film office.
Mhm.
There's a
Film office.
Film
film
office.
office for film.
Yes.
There's a person that actually works this thing,
Yeah.
a part-time thing. He wants to make a full-blown film office to attract and bring film type production, TV, commercial, movie, whatever. Okay? And he wants to put that under the Economic Development Office. Didn't tell you that one, did I? Yeah. So the thing with this though is we have I think it's called the River Arts District.
Mhm.
So I have a person that I know, she is in economic development for 15 years, but before that, she worked for a company that managed Queen, Journey, Phil Collins, Stones. She was on the bus and traveled with all these. Anyway, so I brought her in to help kind of with the film stuff, but what I'm trying to get a handle on is, and I'm gonna say culture, arts, like a painting,
Yes.
music, dance, whatever.
Different performing arts, basically.
Yeah, performing arts, how do we get an inventory of who all's doing what here? So I got this Zoom coming up, that's one thing, kind of sounds like it's run film. Over here is kind of music, over here they wanna do this film office, we have an arts district, they do arts type shows, right, all this art of walkaway.
And don't forget the Alliance Awards.
Yeah, right, so I'm trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
figure out, how do I get a whole inventory of saying, hey, right now it's all cottage. You're over there, they're over here, they're over
Bring
here.
it together.
They're not in a place to say, here's my laundry list of all things that we would call culture.
I'm gonna tell you how
Performing arts is the best way to put it.
it is,
Right.
because you need public relations. One of our public relations persons here, pulled together in February 2024. She's actually having an event at the Alliance of Art, bringing in all these various entities.
Is that-
It's called,
Is that under Liz's office?
no, this is out of Roses from Concrete.
Oh,
Should we do?
Exactly. Yeah, she's bringing in this cultural event at the Alliance of Art in February 2024. Even though it's Black History Month, it's going to be various cultures to introduce the very same thing that you are talking about. So she would be someone that you could connect with through her business. And
Yes.
she's doing some phenomenal things.
You know this person, Zach?
Really old friend.
Yeah.
Huh.
In
She's gonna help us
September, October,
promote the art.
she did another event at the Alliance Art. She's now getting invited to do these types of events. One of her employees just won Miss Africa in the Miami Festival. She went over and she was the public relationship person. She can tell you more about what that is, because I don't know. But I just know she's been getting a lot of recognition from it. But what she could do for you, because her and Molly Deckert at the Alliance Art works together, and Molly actually offered her, the Alliance Art, to have these various types of events.
So let me ask you, Phyllis, because we have all these committees. Beautification, road and bike and just all these things. Do we have, and I like Peter's term best, do we
Performing
have
arts.
a performing arts committee with members appointed by council that say, hey, what we're here to do is really make sure that we're able to bring it all together? Because I think think of like the repertory theater.
Yeah.
They're over there, they do their thing, you guys are doing this, they're doing that.
Right.
But is there a place somewhere where you can say, hey, we're having the Performing Arts Society gathering here. You're here with your thing, the repertory theater's here, the actual paint, in fact, Wendy, Wendy that works in the legal office, she just got back from Miami, she's an artist, and she just holds paintings in Miami Art Show. So, how do we get all these art people and
Together.
kind of have you have the creative side of the brain, then they have the business side of the brain. And that's kind of why,
And that would be the important part,
Exactly.
from our viewpoint,
Right.
to make sure
The
that the
business
business of art,
yeah.
not just the art for the sake of art,
Right.
is created.
Yes.
Because then, those artists will be very hungry.
Exactly, and see,
So,
that's,
we need to do the business side of
and that's
arts.
why I said with you all scope, we'll be with you guys in a second, with you all scope,
Right.
having that. It would be separate from, if you will, it would be great to bring everybody together for an event.
Oh, I
But
think
each
this
one
is
has
something.
their own niche.
Right, but I think this is something that is just sort of, these crops kind of blossom. You kind of look out on the garden and you go, wow, there are a lot of individual flowers, now you got this whole bed and it's beautiful, but it's all made up of this diverse kind of things you call art, performing in different ways, and they're just, right now, they're not interconnected.
Gotcha.
Like I can tell you right now, the repertory theater has no idea who you guys are, and they don't know who you are, and these artists are great. So at some point, somebody's saying, and I come more from an entrepreneurial background, and the idea of bringing entrepreneurs and capital and innovation together. Because entrepreneurs sometimes are innovators, and innovators aren't business people, and capital people aren't either. So I mix what I call the lab coats, which are the scientists, the turtlenecks, which are the entrepreneurs, and the suits and ties, which are the money people. And they all hang in their own silo, but once you get them together and mix them up right, that's how you create business.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of how do you, and Peter's right, all the fluff of art stuff is great, how do you make a business out of it?
Yeah. And we're going to do that,
Okay.
but what we're going to do first is focus on the art incubator to get it where we need to
Yes.
have it.
Yes.
And, with the art center, with, the cultural center, with McCollum Hall especially. I'm going to give you guys, some contact information for McCollum Hall because it's scoped. They're going to start turning ground the first quarter of 2024. But in the meantime, what can we do here to get you all situated
Right.
where we can do an incubator starting? Because like I said, with the classroom here,
Yes.
this room, that's not
Yeah,
fully
monitors
utilized.
everywhere.
Exactly.
You know, not to cut you
That's
off,
okay.
but, you know, these artists, they all have time. You know, they might not be able to fly here,
But we can zoom them in.
right, and everybody can be here with their notepads here, and this is a class. You're watching somebody that's infamous, famous to you, but he's talking to you on the whole level of business and how
And
it.
Peter, that's gonna be a Zoom class I'd like to attend.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm thinking under the incubator, because we have the incubator, which Peter basically is the lead instructor. He is the one that assists with all of these different programs in
The
the curriculum.
structuring.
The structuring
Yeah.
of it.
So
Yes.
you guys have the expertise,
Mhm.
but I want to make sure that these things are structured, so that there is progress.
Yes.
Well measurable progress
Measurable
in these
progress,
things,
exactly.
okay?
Yes.
So you bring in that expertise and you bring in the various people who are part of this industry and the business of it. But we need to make sure that there are well-structured curriculums, so there is good progress, and then we get through it, and then we can measure that, oh, we got through it, and here is the result. Now we have all these people who actually know how to do this,
Yes.
okay? Instead of just being artists per se, okay?
And then they move over to the garden that Steve is talking about.
That's right.
So thus why the proposals that I asked for, you will work with Peter on a curriculum, if you will.
Yeah.
Something that's attainable.
You can outline
but
it,
can be
and then
measured.
based on that one, we
And-
can start.
Yeah, no,
Let's
we'll work
see when
together,
we can get it
we'll
started.
put together a proposal.
Okay.
You know, we'll definitely get something to you.
All right.
Yeah.
And we'd love for you guys to stick around. We're going to have a little meet and greet here at 3 o'clock. And I'm going to start on
In 2
time.
minutes.
In 2 minutes, we're going to start. So please, hey Josh, hey Monique.
Hey, how are you?
Some of our funny because I'm still going to be working for SWFL when I move to Atlanta,
Yes.
Georgia Tech.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
that's so
Georgia
cool,
State,
yes.
excuse me, Georgia State.
Yes,
Yeah.
oh, very cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I'll
Right,
be
okay,
doing
you
or
can
what,
do it.
when, but I'm not ready just yet to sit down.
No, of course not. Oh, we're not doing that.
Thank you. And please, as soon as you all can, let's look at
We're just finishing the meeting.
bringing 2020 and put this art incubate. We are all about the growth and development.
Michael?
Yes.
Great meeting you.
How you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll link it with
Yep.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, let's just start with the, just.
Like, you can get
I'll expand to it.
I didn't see either.
Yeah, great.
Pretty slinky.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, man.
Great to see you, Mark.
Okay, no, great to see you.
Good
Yep.
to see you.